The Ontario real estate party is over, and some markets are crashing harder than others. If you're thinking about buying, investing, or just trying to time your next move, you need to know which 12 markets are falling the fastest right now. I'm talking about price cuts, inventory piling up, desperate sellers, and buyers who are completely tapped out. Some of these cities have seen values drop so hard that people who bought at the peak are now underwater on their mortgages. In the next 10 minutes, I'm breaking down the top 12 Ontario markets that are crashing right now, why they're falling so hard, and what this means for you. Plus, I'll tell you the one thing every market has in common that predicted this crash. But first, if you want more no-nonsense real estate breakdowns like this, hit that subscribe button right now. It helps the algorithm and gets you faster updates when these numbers change. The big picture. Here's what's happening across Ontario. After years of rocket ship growth fueled by cheap money pandemic lifestyle shifts and investor FOMO, reality is hitting hard. Interest rates jumped from 2% to over 6%. Monthly payments doubled. The same buyers who powered this boom are now completely priced out. Inventory stacking up. Days on market stretching. Buyers waiting, sellers blinking first. Over-asking becoming price reduced. This isn't just about rates going up, it's about a complete mood shift from fear of missing out to fear of overpaying. Now let me show you the 12 markets where this crash is hitting the hardest. Top 12 crashing markets. The first wave, markets hit hardest. Brantford, the affordability mirage. Brantford rode the cheaper than Toronto story hard. At the peak, homes vanished in days and over-asking was basically guaranteed. What's happening now? Listings are lingering. Price cuts stacking up. Desperate seller language, motivated bring an offer, quick close possible. Values rolled back sharply from early 2022 highs. The reality, late buyers are watching their paper gains evaporate, and speculators are learning that appreciation doesn't do all the heavy lifting. Peterborough, the remote work trap. During the pandemic, remote workers chase space and lakes. For a minute, it worked. Backyards instead of balconies, home offices instead of kitchen table Zooms. Then reality hit. Employers pulled people back to the office. Long commutes felt long again. 2% mortgage rates became 6% plus nightmares. Premium pandemic houses, now idling on the market. The damage. Peak buyers are watching valuations slide below what they paid. Sudbury, even sturdy markets bend. Sudbury was supposed to be different. Resource economy, different pace. But it caught the same wave. Multiple offers, quick flips, investors reaching north for yield. Now, income growth is lagging payments, confidence is wobbling, and recovery in resource cities takes longer than anyone hopes. Windsor, the bargain that wasn't. Windsor felt like the deal of the cycle, manufacturing ties, cross-border perks, homes you could actually afford. That affordability magnet pulled in locals and investors buying sight unseen. The fall, as investor demand dried up and carrying costs outstripped rent, we're seeing vacancies creeping up, assignment deals with discounts, prices retracing dramatically from peak. North Bay reality check. North Bay transformed from quiet and scenic to buy now before it's gone during remote work surge. Prices shot past what local wages could support. Now the tide is out. Sparse open houses, common price slashing, late buyers uncomfortably underwater, no matching job surge to support the math. London, the mid-sized darling falls. London looked like the next big thing. Healthcare, education, GTA migration magnet. For years, it seemed unstoppable. When rates climbed, the gears ground fast, pile-up of listings, projects delayed or repriced. Sellers taking losses rather than carrying for months. Year-over-year declines deep enough to sting. The safe narrative is being rewritten in real time. Transition. That's just the first wave. The second wave of trouble is just as telling, and it's hitting markets that thought they were bulletproof. The second wave, safe markets falling. Oshawa, the commuter dream dies. Oshawa sprinted during the pandemic, close enough to Toronto to commute, far enough to feel affordable. Some property values doubled in under 3 years. Today's reality. Homes that once had 10 offers sit through 2 price cuts. Toronto buyers, the lifeblood, are retreating. Monthly payments feel like rent times two. Without that GTA pipeline, Oshawa's advantage thins out fast. Kitchener-Waterloo, tech can't save everything. KW was branded as resilient thanks to tech and universities. But even great stories can be overbid. The harsh lesson: investor and out-of-town money pushed prices beyond what local incomes could support. Assignment sales ballooned. Builders dangling incentives. Projects quietly pushed to later. Barrie, lakefront dreams, mortgage nightmares. Barrie's lakefront shine and space for less promise drew a flood of demand. The bet: remote work is permanent, appreciation covers everything. Both legs of that stool wobbled. Big-ticket 2021 purchases back on market at discounts. Some still won't move even with cuts. Newer subdivisions facing double squeeze. St. Catharines, the investor exodus. St. Catharines benefited from cheaper than Hamilton trade. Investors piled in for rent climbs and capital gains. Now, many units being offloaded below acquisition price. Local wages haven't grown fast enough to justify pandemic premiums. Kingston, institution town gets schooled. Kingston, typically steady and institutional, got whipped by migration currents. Multiple offers became mundane. Days on market collapsed. The fever broke. Inventory built, especially where GTA money had been most active. First-time peak. Buyers now juggling bigger payments and shrinking equity. Thunder Bay. The northern wave crashes. Thunder Bay's arc was delayed but sharp. As southern Ontario went wild, the wave eventually hit the north. The challenge: older demographic, fewer high-growth industries. When affordability erodes, demand softens quickly. The warning signs. Here's what all these markets have in common. The warning signs that predicted this crash. Red flag 1: prices wildly outpacing local incomes. When you need Toronto money to buy in Peterborough, that's unsustainable. Red flag 2: heavy investor reliance. When locals can't afford to buy in their own city, you're building on quicksand. Red flag 3: thin job growth, pretty lakes, and cheap gas don't pay mortgages. Red flag 4: supply built for 2% rates. All that pre-construction was underwritten for a world that no longer exists. Opportunity or trap? Now, could there be opportunity here? Absolutely, but only if you respect the cycle and your numbers. If you're thinking of buying, do this. Underwrite ugly scenarios. Higher rates for longer. Flat or declining rents. Another 5 to 10% price drop possible. Avoid this. Catching the falling knife: don't mistake cheaper than last year for cheap. The landlord reality. When carrying costs exceed rent by wide margins, owners either subsidize, refinance, or sell. Enough of those decisions at once, and prices leg down again. Separate structural decline from temporary dip. The more a city leaned on external migration or speculation money, the more time it needs for fundamentals to catch up. What to watch for? Want to know when these markets might stabilize? Watch these metrics. 1. Months of inventory when it drops below 6 months consistently. 2. Days on market when the average starts declining month over month. 3. Price-to-income ratios when they return to historical norms for each city. 4. Assignment sales volume when desperate flipping activity decreases. The bottom line: risk is being repriced in real time. In all 12 of these markets, the fall has been sharp enough to warrant serious caution. Call to action and wrap. Here's my challenge for you. Drop a comment right now with first rebound, and tell me which of these 12 cities you think stabilizes first and why. I'll pin the most convincing take. If this breakdown helped you avoid a costly mistake, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss my next update when these conditions shift. Remember, stay careful, run your numbers twice, and never let FOMO drive your biggest financial decisions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.